Hello and welcome. My name is Peter and I'm going to talk briefly to explain what it's like to study A-level further maths at Rochdale Sixth Form College. Okay, so what is further maths and why should I take it? Well, further maths is essentially more maths on top of what you would learn by studying regular A-level maths. It extends some of the topics you learn in A-level maths and introduces some brand new exciting topics. It is a bit harder than A-level maths, but if you love maths, then further maths is a fantastic choice to study. In terms of content, there are three strands: pure, decision, and mechanics. In pure, you will learn some topics that build on what you learn in normal maths, as well as introducing some new ones. Some examples are complex numbers, matrices, and advanced calculus. Decision, this is a really interesting area. This is the study of algorithms. An algorithm is a step-by-step process which enables you to solve a problem. A classic example is if you want to find the shortest route from one place to another, you need an algorithm to do that. Dijkstra's algorithm is the name of one algorithm that enables you to do that. Okay, and that is the sort of process that Google Maps or a sat nav goes through when you ask it for the shortest route from one place to another. It uses an algorithm like Dijkstra's algorithm to do that. That is one of the many algorithms you will study in that strand. And finally, mechanics. Mechanics is all about modeling and analyzing forces and motion. Again, you will study some mechanics in normal maths as well, and the mechanics you learn in further maths will build on that knowledge. What you can expect on the course, usually we have about 24 students in each year group doing further maths. You'll have 4 lessons a week, 2 homeworks per week. You'll have an in-class test about every 3 weeks, and all the exams that count towards your final grade are at the end of 2 years. What lessons are like? You'll be given workbooks that we have custom made for the course. These contain explanations, examples, and exercises. In lesson, we will go through the explanations and examples together. And then the exercises are where you can do some questions yourself to practice the skills. Where you could end up after doing an A-level in further maths, well, all of these courses you can see on the left are university courses that further maths is particularly useful for, and there are loads of careers you could end up doing, but here are just a selection of the most common careers that people who study further maths go on to do. Okay, what I'm going to do very quickly, I am going to introduce you to one topic from further maths, just give you a taste, a flavour of what is to come. I'm going to look at complex numbers. Okay, consider the following equation: x squared is equal to -1. If we square root both sides, you get x is equal to the square root of -1. But as I'm sure you know, you can't square root a negative. Well, that suggests this equation actually has no solutions. Or does it? Well, in further maths, we say, I don't see any reason why it doesn't have to have a solution. Let's invent a solution. What we do is we define I, the imaginary number, by this equation here. So we define I to be equal to the square root of -1. We invent a solution. Since that is equal to the square root of -1, I squared must be equal to -1. It turns out imaginary numbers are very useful. One use for them is to solve quadratic equations. I'm going to show you this now. Okay, let's solve an equation. Suppose you want to solve this quadratic. There are many ways to solve a quadratic. One way I'm sure you looked at is completing the square. I'm going to show you how you could solve this by completing the square. First of all, we complete the square. Take the 4 across. Square root both sides. We get this. Now I'm going to split the third. So first of all, I'm going to write -4 as 4 times -1. And then I'm going to split the thirds up. Root 4 is 2. The square root of -1 we have decided is I. So that gives me plus or minus 2i. Take the 1 across. I get that x is 1 plus or minus 2i. I have solved this quadratic to get this solution. Previously, in your previous studies, you would have said this quadratic has no solutions. But if you involve complex numbers, if you involve imaginary numbers, in fact, it does have a solution. Which is 1 plus or minus 2i, which you could also write as 1 plus 2i or 1 minus 2i. Finally, a fun challenge to leave you on. We know that I is equal to the square root of -1. We know that I squared is equal to -1. So what does I to the power 2020 equal? Something for you to think about. I hope you've enjoyed this explanation of further maths, and I look forward to seeing you studying further maths at Rochdale Sixth Form College. Goodbye, guys.